Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna check the list right now. I'm gonna show you the platform. The list. Okay, this is the attendance. María del Carmen Andrade, you're here. Okay. María Isabel Alvarado. Yet. Viviana.
Present.
Okay. Laura Calderón. That is not here. Okay. Fernanda.
Present, teacher.
Fernanda Elizabeth. Okay. Adrián. Ayman Magallanes. Okay. Adrián, you are here. Brian Loor.
Present.
Okay, Brian, you're here. María Gabriela Ortiz.
I'm here.
Okay. Lourdes Quintana. Lourdes. Okay, let's wait for it. At the end of the class, I'm gonna take the attendance again, right? Lourdes Rocio Quintana. Okay. Lisbeth Quintana.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Laura, you are here.
Good evening, teacher. Good evening, classworks. I'm here.
Okay, at the end of the class, I'm gonna take the list again, right? Okay, let me show you some things that I put. Did you write it on the forum? Because I put the forum like an assignment, because look at this, in this part you can visualize about you. If you haven't done, there is no problem, you can do it during this week. Okay, reason for learning, I put it like an assignment, and I put time. I'm gonna change the time, I think, because I think that you are working, and you will need time to upload this assignment, these class activities, right? Then I'm gonna change the date, maybe for this Saturday at night, okay? Because you have until Friday. Did you check it? You have until Friday, but I'm gonna change the date, okay? I'm gonna change the date in order that you will have time. Material, you have material to here, right? I'm gonna make 3 activities today, and let's start with this question. One. Okay, so I'm going to send you this Padlet. I don't know, have you worked with this Padlet before? No? Okay, now you can use it. If you have online classes too, you can use it. This is something that that you can use with your students. I'm going to send you. You can find on Google this kind of activities. I'm gonna send by chat the link in order that you can answer. Okay, we're going to practice how to use this Padlet. You can log to this Padlet with like if you are opening a Facebook, right? You can open like an account. Okay, so here you have Padlet. In this part, you visualize a pencil or a pen, and you have to click on this, and then you can write it, and you can put you have here 3 dots. When you write, you can edit the things that you are writing. Okay, if you have a mistake, you can edit. Okay, my question is, so try to think, if I visited your classroom and take a Polaroid photo, what will I see in that photo? If I take a picture of your classroom and put your name there. My kids are running around the classroom, or I don't know, things that you always see in your classroom. And after that, you can read it, okay? There are colors. Gabriela, you teach kids, right? Laura, if I visited your classroom, I noticed the expression that that your student have. Only the expressions. That is a funny class with a lot of interaction. Who has a funny class? Try to put your names. Mariandra. If you want enter my class, you will see a TV, a lot of chairs, adults, students working on their skills so they can take the international certification. That is in your classroom, Maria, no? That's in your classroom. In your classroom.
Yeah, in my assigned classroom.
Okay. Lisbeth said, a funny class with a lot of interaction through the activities that you develop. Okay, very If you visited my classroom, you will see a projector, PowerPoint presentation, flashcards, and probably student books, a student working in groups or on their own. Mhm. Who is? Who has written, if you visited my classroom, you will see a projector. Try to write the names. Okay. Lourdes, and my question is, well, I think somebody else is writing. Uh, do you um, do you use everything that you have, all the tools that you have in your classroom, and what is something that you have to change, something that you have to do better? Try to analyze yourself and tell. You have written that you have a PowerPoint, a projectors, everything. That is something that you think, I am never use the board or the intelligent board. I never use these. I never use a projector. Something that you have to use it or be better. Use it better. Try to make comments. You can use the microphone. There is no problem. You have written all of these things. For example, here you have a lot of colors and beautiful peacocks. Somebody wrote the tools, PowerPoint presentation, flashcards, and someone wrote the faces, the student faces. It's something that when somebody go to your classroom, all your students are angry or are happy. That's their facial expression. Laura said their facial expression. Try to tell me. You can use a microphone and try to analyze yourself and say, oh, I think that I have to use a little bit more the projector. The organization, the organization of a student. We're gonna learn this in this course. We're gonna learn how can you arrange the student arrangement. A lot of students, because I work in a public institution. Try to think, try to tell me. Carol say, if you come to my classroom, so practically you can see my student doing many things, reading, writing. So you mean, Carol, that you are a very active teacher. Your students are very active. You use many strategies to make them work. Okay. Do you think about what do you have to do to improve your improve your classroom, the management, organization? I would like to make better use of my time, because most of the teachers don't have time because I prepare a wonderful class, but time is not enough. Yeah, time is not enough. Maybe we have to change what I have planned for them, right? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna check it. Okay. Let's continue with the material. We will learn about, we learn about how to teach kids, okay, an adolescent, right? An adolescent. So one of the great difference between adolescent and children is the greater capacity for abstract thought. But we have to be careful because they are not children. We don't have to treat them like a children, but we don't have to treat them like an adult. So remember that they have a lot of emotion, self-esteem problems. They might have problems at homes, in their homes, right? So you have to make them notice that they are important to you. Okay, you have to handle the emotions with them, right? And you have to plan and try to be interested about what they want. For example, if your classroom are interested about comics, you can plan a reading class with about comics, your favorite comics or favorite band, those kind of things, right? Things that they can be motivated, okay, in order to make them speak, funny activities to them. So you don't have to treat them like an adult, and you don't have to treat them like a children either, right? So when you teach adults, what happens when you teach adults? Older learners often, but not always, a wider range of life experience to draw on, but both as individual as a learners than younger students do. The adults are disciplined than adolescents, right? But the thing is that the adults might feel fear because they have memories about the past, about how they were like English student. Maybe they think, oh, I always, I I was a bad student in English. I always got zero. I remember, and they feel older too. They say, oh, I don't know if I can learn English now at my age. So it's difficult. They feel fear, right? I don't know if you are teaching adults, but they feel that they are not they feel insecure about what they are doing in the classroom, right? I have adults too. I'm working at the academy, and these adults feel fear. They sometimes they don't like to answer because they don't know how to pronounce things, certain vocabulary. But you have them to feel confidence because they say, "Oh, I'm older to study English," right? So it's the same. You have to encourage them. You have to tell them, no, you can do it. You can do it. You have to make them notice that they are progressing all the time. You have to tell them those kind of things. Okay. That's the thing with the adults. Okay. That's the thing with the adults. We have learning styles. We have learning styles. All students respond to various stimuli, such as pictures. Most of you have written on the back left that you have many colors, flashcards, PowerPoints, sounds. As a teacher, English teacher, we need to with children and adolescent, we need to encourage them with this pictures, sounds, music, movement. Okay, try to think what kind of music they like, but most of them, some things stimulate them into a learning more than other things do. The neuro-linguistic programming model, often called NLP, takes account of this by showing how some students are especially influenced. Remember that we have many, we are different intelligence, right? We have different, who remember how, there are eight, eight multiple intelligence. multiple intelligences. We have musical, according to Howard Gardner. According to Howard Gardner, we have musical, rhythmic, we have verbal, linguistic, we have logical, mathematical, we have bodily, kinesthetic, interpersonal, and naturalistic. We have these 8 multiple intelligence. So you have to realize what is the best way that you, a student, can understand you, can learn, right? So how do you get, according to, try to think about your class, your group, right? How do you get and keep their attention? Something that always happen in your classroom. So they are making so much noise, they are talking all the time, and suddenly you get inside the classroom and you try to interact with them. How do you get and keep their attention? So I'm gonna give you time. So try to think about your group. What is the first thing that comes from come to your mind and say, I'm gonna do this to attract the attention of your student to your group? One.
Okay, teacher, good evening. In my opinion, I say we can keep activity class. On the first, the students need to know the subject is very important in their life. Also, the objective and the skills of the class, we need to explain very clear where the students get the information and later go to develop the activities. Other thing is very important, bring to them interesting materials like worksheets, and maybe next time you can bring a video, or maybe depending the level. I think so with the kids it's very important to bring a didactic class. With the teenagers, maybe bachelor is important, looking at text or information, but where they can enjoy the topic. It is in my opinion, teacher.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Another, Viviana, Stefania.
Me, teacher.
Mhm.
I agree with Carol because I think that's depend of the label of the group. In my case, I think it's good work with cognitive dissonance, which is related with pictures and videos. And also it's important that all the students involved in groups to develop their social skills and also let them to use the parts of their body.
Okay, in order to attract the attention, to keep their attention, okay? Another student who wants to share?
Hello, Lucy.
Hi, Lourdes.
Hello. So that's the same my colleague said. So it's the level students have, the age is very important. So in my case, because mostly I work with adults, so I try to find or look for topics that they like. So something that is related to their jobs or their area of studies. So something that they can connect with. With children, I think with children something that is for I haven't worked with children for a long time, but it is challenging to manage them because they like to be active all the time, and the attention span that they have is very little, so like 10 15 minutes, and according to a study that I was reading the other day, so it is becoming less time. So nowadays children pay attention to teachers like 5 minutes and they want to do another thing. So that is very important for them, the attention span that they have nowadays, because mainly because of technology. So that is something that affects them nowadays.
It's because of technology, I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm.
Another opinion, another student who has to share with us. I'm going to write the eight. I'm inviting you to write, to take notes on a piece of paper maybe, and visualize your classroom or every kid or every student that you have. And I'm gonna write here the 8 multiple intelligence. Let me just, I'm gonna write here in order that you can visualize on Padlet. I'm gonna write, just hold on.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, I was searching for the multiple intelligence, and according to this, it says there is 9. I think recently there is a new one.
Rhythmic. Musical, we have music. I'm gonna write musical, rhythmic. Just hold on. I'm gonna share. A visual, linguistic, visual linguistic, logical, mathematical, then body, kinesthetic, interpersonal, and naturalistic. Interpersonal and naturalistic. I have here just one. Where's my tablet? Okay, here we have just with the multiple colors. Color. No, I can put the colors. Okay, musical, rhythmic, visual, linguistic, 1, 2, 3, 4. Logical, mathematical is 1, right? Logical, mathematical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There are 8. 8. So you're going to think in your group, and you have to tell me.
Sorry to interrupt. There's one missing, the existential one.
There is
I
another
can
one.
I can send you a picture to the wait, let me share
Okay,
with
send
you.
us by chat. There is another one, a new
Sure,
one.
yes.
You can share on the Padlet because you can put a picture too. If you want, you can do it. You can share a picture on the Padlet, and you can copy. So, well, you, dear student, you're going to think about take note, and you're gonna say, you're gonna think, you're gonna write, three students of mine are musical, intelligent. Four that I have are visual. So that means that they learn with many things that I have to show them, right? And another group of mine learn better with music or with rhythm, right? So try to divide your class, and you have to show me, right? You have to explain. You have to explain how many students in my class. I have three with visual intelligence, in order that you recognize the kind of student of you have, okay? Do it. Try to take notes in your notebook or a piece of paper. Naturalistic, musical, logical, existential, interpersonal, but bodily, kinesthetic, intrapersonal, and spatial intelligence, visual and spatial. Can you see the Howard Gardner intelligence? Let me know if the activity is clear. Is it clear? Let me know when you're ready, okay?
So which one would be
Okay,
special?
ready? You have? Do you have, Lourdes?
No, I'm asking you about the spatial intelligence. Which one would that be? Which characteristic does it have for students?
Okay, are you classifying your students
Yeah,
with not yet?
but the spatial ones, what's the difference between the
Special.
confused with the spatial and the kinesthetics?
Okay,
What do they-
kinesthetic, kinesthetic is are a student who likes to get involved in many in projects, for example, kinesthetic, right? So you have to involve them with a project, doing the things.
Mhm.
They are doers. They learn things doing things, right? And special, I'm going to special. Specials are all those, for example, students like to build things, for example. They learn and they enjoy the class. If you maybe in kindergarten you gave them Legos to build things like an engineering, right? That is a special learner. Those are special learners, right? Ability, they are successful if you doing Legos, they are doing Legos, they are building something, right? They are special.
Excuse me, teacher. I'm sorry. I have a definition about kinesthetic. Can I read for you?
Okay,
I was
kinesthetic.
mistaken what my classmate is saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, the kinesthetic is the
Kinesthetic.
ability to know.
Mhm.
Yes.
Kinesthetic
The
activity
ability
is
to-
especially effective. For example, look at our PowerPoint. Kinesthetic activity is especially, when you give the kinesthetic activity, is especially effective for other learners who seem to learn best. They are involved in some kind of physical activities. Physical activities,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And special, for example, if you ask them to make projects, for example, robotica. We have now those kind of classes in some schools, right?
Okay,
What
teacher.
could be? So when you finish, tell me how many students do you have. Try to identify your students. Okay, this is an activity that's gonna help you. Let me know you're ready if you want to tell me, okay? For example, kinesthetic could be students who like to jump all the time and they are learning the verbs, jumping. I don't know, if you ask them to do something with working out, and you have them repeat the verbs and they have to jump, activities that involve physical things, right? Okay, are you ready? Not yet? Okay. Viviana? Are you ready? Brian? Have you identified your student?
I'm writing now.
Okay. Okay, who is ready? Lourdes?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, I would say, because I'm mostly with other people, the majority of them are intrapersonal, interpersonal. Some of them are logical, mathematical, and musical. So I
Yes.
have identified some musical students.
Okay, you have identified your student. Okay. Isabel, ready? Not yet? Okay, there is no problem. Viviana?
Okay, in my class, I have two kinds of intelligence, like visual and logical. Logical because most of my students like to learn grammar, and they learn through structures, and also they can see on the board all of the grammar presented. I think that.
Okay. Great. You already have identified your students. Okay, now you already know how to present your class today. Gabriela. Have you identified your students?
No yet. Wait a moment, please. I'm
Okay,
checking
there is
that.
okay. Brian, have you identified your students?
Sure, I identify them. I have around 17 students, and they are all teenagers, and they are musical and rhythmic in that part. It's because I give a subject that the name is a community classroom for speaking, and they always prefer to make some karaoke, and they love that.
Okay.
Yes.
I like it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. I like to teach with songs too. Adults enjoy that activity. Stephanie.
Okay, Miss. I'm working with teenagers and I can identify that some of them are musical because they like a lot to start the class singing a song about any favorite singer. Another part of the class are visual because they can understand maybe grammar when they see the slides. For that reason, I like to do creative slides. And I think the other group are kinesthetic because as you mentioned, they like to learn English through projects. And that's about my case, Miss.
Or physical activities, right? Kinesthetic. Okay, and Maria Andrade.
Okay, so I have 3 students. All of them are adults. And as they are preparing for the FCE, I think they are linguistic. They have that intelligence because they talk very fluent and they are very talkative when they get to work together.
Okay, they practice a lot of speaking. A lot of good. They are linguistic, verbal and linguistic, right? And Lisette.
Lisette,
Have you identified your okay.
I'm not working yet, but in base of my pre-professional practice, the majority of the children learn by visual material. I am sure that is more attractive for their minds and they can concentrate better at the moment of develop an assignment.
Most of your students are visual.
I'm not working yet.
Okay.
In base of my pre-professional practice.
Okay. Good. Very good. Laura?
Okay. I think that everyone has a little of multiple intelligence, but it depends on the teachers and parents develop their skills to help them to identify their preference. For example, the most of my students have musical because since we are child, we try to create music with different sounds. I can say that my students like sing and dance to the rhythm of the song, and I enjoy it.
Okay, they are musical.
Yes.
Musical.
Most of them are musical.
Most of them are musical. You identify your student like musical. Okay. And Fernanda?
Yes, teacher. Okay, I identified to my teacher in my classroom. Basically, is visual thinking. Okay. For example, one child is talkative. Okay, he is playful, okay, and yes, and not only right doesn't hear, okay. He is very intelligent, and I think so is like too smart.
Okay, you have
Okay.
a very good. You have a different
Yes.
intelligences.
Yes,
Mhm.
he have more skills of them.
You have identifier.
Yes.
It's good to identify how the way that they learn, right? The way that they learn. Isabel? Not yet?
Okay, Miss. In my case, sometimes depending what time the students have the class, it happens with me on the last hours, maybe on the 5 or 6. After half day, the students are tired. I'm trying with a kinesthetic methodology doing the sum exercise. I tell them everybody stand up, and I try to make some exercise like dance, moving the body, and they get relaxed. In other case, using the methodology like visual, it is or that I do with a student have a special needs. From them, I bring worksheets to paint according with the topic we are studying. But I'm trying to check the easy vocabulary, because those students, have difficulties to learn.
They are visual, I think. They are visual because you give them a lot of worksheet with colors, right? Could be visual, and you told me that your students are kinesthetic because you
Yeah.
made them to learn with the working now. Maybe you make them repeat things, moving their
Good
body.
exercise like gym.
No, but
I
for
take-
example, if you can have them, if they like, you can have them to repeat something, moving their bodies or the part of the body.
Yes, I did it. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So you already have identified your students. So, but as a teacher, it's crucial and it is very important not assume that just because your student excel at a particular subject or are good at a particular subject, you're going to teach them like you notice, right? You can you're going to think that that is what is their passion, because maybe I'm good at art. Okay, I'm good at art, or your student are good at art, but that is not their passion, right? Maybe it's good at math or it's good at math, but their passion is another subject. Maybe it's good at English, but their passion is another. Right? You have to realize what is their passion, and you can connect their passion with English. For example, if you have a student who like build things, right? So you can plan plan a class about houses, about how to build houses or things that they are interested. Okay, so you have to realize, you don't have to assume that if you have to realize what is the passion of your student. Okay, what is the passion of your student, and then you can create the class according to that. Okay, so or maybe when you are assigning homework, you know that this student like to build houses, for example. You can assign a homework related to that, and they can this student can include the vocabulary about that. That's another way to learn. Okay, so it is clear that kinesthetic activity is especially it's some kind of physical activity, right? Kinesthetic activity is especially effective for other learners who seem to learn best when they are involved in some kind of physical activity. Example of kinesthetic activity that you have done? We have done, but we don't know that it's a kinesthetic activity, right? So, can you give me examples of kinesthetic activity that you have done? We were with that a lot.
Maybe dancing.
Dancing. Mm-hmm. Another activity. That you have created with
Simon
your,
says.
sorry, Viviana?
Simon says.
Simon says. Yeah, but it's physical. It's more physical. For example, I'm gonna give you one. So with kids, I have worked with kids, and that is physical. That is kinesthetic activity because when I gave the vocabulary for them, when I have taught vocabulary, then as I engage, I put the vocabulary. I put the drawings, the flashcards, the pictures under the tables or around the classroom, and I say, find a house, find a projector, find a jogger, I don't know, the vocabulary that you have taught. Okay, so the students running around the classroom and they try to find the correct vocabulary, and they show me the flashcard, the correct flashcard, because I call out, for example, yogurt, and they show me the picture of the yogurt, right? That is kinesthetic because they are moving around the classroom, right? Do you have another activity?
I want the one that she mentioned is a game. So that's the name of the game. Simon says. So you tell them, Simon says, give me a pen or look for, so they have to move. That's kinesthetic.
Okay.
Same as
Okay. That is
I've done mimicking with, so when they have to mimic, that is body movement, chanting. It's body movement.
Okay, good. Okay, that is clear in that. Is that clear? Brian? Fernanda? What is kinesthetic? Let me know if you have a question. So here you have Another way of looking, as we have talking about this multiple intelligences, first articulated by Howard Gardner. We all have a number of different intelligences: mathematical, musical, interpersonal, spatial, emotional, right? It is inappropriate to describe someone as intelligent or unintelligent. It's inappropriate because while we may not have much of knack to foresee music that does not mean our abilities are similarly limited in other areas. So we have the levels. The levels. Teachers of English generally make three basic distinctions to categorize the language knowledge of their students. We have beginners, we have intermediate, and we have advanced, right? But what is a beginner? What is a beginner? Beginner is a student who doesn't know anything about English, right? That is a beginner. Is a student who has zero knowledge about English. They cannot be expected to be able to understand most common phrases. That is a beginner, right? But there is a false beginner. Remember, what is beginner? Who is beginner? Beginner is a student who has zero knowledge about English. So we can start from scratch. We can start teaching slowly, right? With a simple sentences, with a simple vocabulary, because they don't know anything. That is a beginner. But there are false beginners. There are false beginners. We call false beginner is a kind of a student who has some knowledge of English, because in the past they studied English at a high school, and then they start studying at university. Like my case, I have a lot of those kind of students that they always say, "Oh, Miss, I remember that I was bad at English. But I know certain things, but," and they laugh because sometimes they don't remember certain words. But they remember something, but they have to start from the beginning, from the scratch, right? So that is a false beginner. Okay. What is a beginner?
No, sí.
It's a level 0 in English.
Zero in English. And false beginner?
The type of a student
who study before some English.
Some English, but maybe they don't remember when they start studying English again, right? That is a false beginner. And intermediate. What is an intermediate? Pre-intermediate. Intermediate, pre-intermediate. Let me put this. Here we have beginners, false beginners. We have elementary. We have pre-intermediate, upper intermediate, intermediate. Okay. So pre-intermediate, they can interact. They can interact and be spontaneous. Pre-intermediate, and they know the vocabulary. Pre-intermediate can understand the main points of a test. on familiar topics. Places in English, that they can use places in English, can produce simple, organized sentences. That is pre-intermediate. Can describe experiences, can express events, wishes. That is pre-intermediate. Okay, explain, pre-intermediate can explain opinion. Pre-intermediate can explain opinion. Upper intermediate, they can understand main ideas of complex, complex on concrete, on abstract topics. Okay, they can express themselves, they can discuss, they can make a discussion, and they do it instantaneously. Okay, they can produce clear details, text, express advantage and disadvantage. That is upper intermediate is like P2. It's P2 upper intermediate. Okay, and advanced is an advanced. So, but here you have, this is with details, right? But in some of the English academies, we have beginners, we have intermediate student, and we have advanced students. So we have these three, we can classify our student like this. Success is easy. Beginners, success is easy to see at this level and easy for the teacher to arrange. Some adults, beginners, find that language learning is stressful. In this part, beginners, adults, beginners feel stressful in beginners. Intermediate student, success is less. Sorry, something happened here in my PowerPoint. I don't know what happened with, I put the S here. Okay, success is less obvious. Intermediate level students have achieved a lot, but they are less likely to be able to recognize an almost a daily progress, plateau effect. Advanced, you have advanced, a student at this level already know a lot of English. We have to create a classroom culture. In this part, we have to create classroom cultures, many activities. A student understand what still has to be done. Not too much. Our classes, when we are teaching advanced, we don't have to focus on grammatical accuracy. So do you know what is grammatical accuracy? Is when the teacher correct a grammatical mistake. You have to make your student speak, but you don't have to correct them. If they have grammatical mistake, you have to correct them, okay? Because in this part, they are advanced, so they correct them themselves, okay? Now, we're gonna have, let me know, I don't know if you have noticed on the forum, I put that the break is at 8:35. Let me know when it's 8:35, because we are working, and I used to forget the time, okay? Now, let me show you the platform. Sorry. And I have here class activity. Class activity 3. Class activity 3. Okay, you can download the class activity and you can send it to me on Saturday. Okay, there is no problem, but you're going to do the homework, the class activity with me. Okay, it's a short activity, right? Let me class activity 3. Class activity 3, please download this class activity. I'm gonna show you topic 1. I think is no, sorry, not yet. There's no. Let's correct or let's check. Do you remember that yesterday we have this activity? We have this activity. If you have your draft before sending it to me, this is the activity. You can do it now. So what is special about teaching adults? Okay, children, adults, and adolescents. Okay. This part, you can do it alone, but we're gonna do this now, okay? This is activity. This is the activity that we did last Monday. Okay, let's do this. Maria, is it clear? Stephanie, Viviana, Gabriela?
Where is that activity? I don't find it.
Okay, this activity is the last activity that we did the last class.
So is there in the platform?
Yeah, it's in the platform. So the platform, topic 1. I'm gonna show.
Because I already did 1 and 2, and 3 is another document.
3 is open. Let me see this.
Let's see, is assignment 3.
Assignment 2. Find assignment 2. Assignment 2. Just
What
for
is
one.
it?
Assignment 2. Assignment 2. No, it's not assignment 2.
It's the assignment number 3 that we have to only make the exercises 1 and 3.
Okay, do it. I'm gonna show you the worksheet, okay? Okay, what is special about teaching adults? You have to put C, add, or in.
So the one that you are showing now, right now, this do we have to upload this to the platform?
Miss, your mic is off.
sorry, do it now with me. Try to do it alone. Then we're gonna check, and on Saturday you're going to upload it. Okay? On Saturday you're going to upload.
But where is this document? I cannot find it.
You can find it. What is the number of this activity? Sorry, because I put activity 3, I think. But it's
Yes, activity 3.
Yes. Yes.
yeah, it's,
Mhm.
okay, and I send it by WhatsApp too. I remember that I sent it by WhatsApp. Let me find where is it. Exactly. Different context. It's warm up. Just hold on. I'm gonna upload this activity. Just hold on.
Okay. This activity that says create a warm-up is,
I'm
is
going
in the
to,
webs, is in the
yeah, I
website,
know.
but it's not in the platform.
Yeah, in this moment, I'm uploading this work. Okay, just hold on. Okay. I call it motivation. Can you see it? I'm going to show you, okay? I'm calling it motivation. Okay, here we have. Sorry, because last Monday we have that problem, and I have assigned. I forgot to assign this motivation, and then you have your warm up. You have to. Right now, you're going to do number 3, exercise number 3 in this motivation worksheet. Here we have. Here can you find.
Excuse me, teacher, did you send the worksheet
Yeah.
to the website?
Yes.
But I don't see it.
Look at in the topic one, then you have the activity, and I have created the worksheet motivation. I have called it motivation.
Yeah, but the worksheet did you send to the WhatsApp or on the
No,
platform?
it's the same. It's the same. The platform I uploaded in a in the platform. Okay, motivation is the same because I call it motivation.
Okay, thank you.
It's a warm up. Okay, we're gonna have 10 minutes, between 10 or 15 minutes a break, so you can drink something, you can go to the bathroom or something. Okay, we're gonna have our break because we have 3 hours. I was thinking about that. Okay, are you agree with that?
Yes.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah,
Miss,
because we have
perfect.
3 hours, 15 minutes, between 10 and 15, okay? So go and then you're going to continue with the worksheet and we're going to share we're going to compare the answers, okay? I made you to do this with me because that is a proof that you are working with me, and then you're going to upload it on Saturday, okay? There is no problem, but you can save the activity on your computer, okay? Okay, we're going to the break, okay?
¿Será que entra aire por está con las cortinas así?
Mande.
¿Será-
Hello, the student. Advance. Let's continue. Lourdes, Gabriela, Viviana, Brian. You ready? You're there? Okay. Okay, you have the worksheet, make advantage and disadvantages, great for children, adolescents, adults. Who do you think is being described in the examples? A small group of students come to see and say you that they are finding learning English much difficult from they had home. They want to stop classes.
Can I answer?
Yeah. Mhm.
They are adults.
Adults. Do you remember sometimes adults feel frustrated? They don't when they fail or they think they fear that they are old, right? Sometimes they feel that is A. I'm going to put A, adults. Okay, Laura, after a lesson, a group of students come to see you and say, we don't like the way you are teaching. We want more grammar. What is that kind?
I think they are the adolescents.
Adolescents. Mhm. Because they express their emotion. Adolescents. This is A and this is adult. Okay? Adrian, no, sorry, Stephanie. Stephanie, one of the students favorite activity is the chatting rhythmic sentences to emphasize pronunciation.
Okay, children. I
Mhm.
see.
Very good. Children. Children. Isabel, a student gets really excited when you offer to let them sing a song. A student gets really excited when you offer to let them sing a song. What do you think, Isabel?
Microphone. Yeah, I told you, I think so. This item is okay for three groups. The children like the scenes, also the teenagers, but some adults like the same methodology because some other people like to learn with a different ways. In this case,
could be more for
teens.
children and
Teenagers.
Teenagers and adults.
Some adult people.
But it's most like children and adolescents.
But more
Okay.
applicable with the children's.
With children, yeah.
Yes.
Children is the first. It's applied for children. Then Fernanda, could you please read? A student played.
Okay.
Could you please read? A student played tricks.
Okay. A student plays tricks such as hiding under desks and giving the wrong names when you are thinking the register. I think so is adolescents and children.
Adolescent and children. A student played tricks such as hiding under desks and giving the wrong names when you are taking the register. I think children. Children's and could be adolescents, but more for children. Okay. So yeah, very good. And Lisette, could you please read the next?
And when you arrive late for class, some of the students are quickly getting on their work. I think it's adolescent.
When you arrive late for class, some of the students are quickly getting on their work. Adolescents. Good. And because children used to be more obedient, because when you say something in the classroom, please quiet or be silence, they teachers are like a mother, right, or father. So I think that children are obedient in some cases when you are given instructions. I think this is adolescents. Okay. Next, Maria.
Okay, it says, when you ask a student to come out to the front of the class to take part in a demonstration, he is extremely reluctant to do so because he's so nervous. Maybe children or adolescents.
Yeah. Adolescent or children could be. I think it's adolescent, more like children, because children sometimes they don't feel nervous to commit mistakes, right? Adolescent, they feel the fear, like, oh, they are looking around the classroom. Sometimes, if I commit a mistake, I feel bad. So I think it's adults, because children are act more spontaneously, right? And you get a student in group to play a board game. Um, Brian again, Viviana, Brian or Viviana, Gabriela. Gabriela.
You get the students in group to play a board game adapted from a general knowledge quiz. They are reluctant to play the game. Adolescents?
Adolescents. Remember the behavior that they have at that age. Next, who wants to make the last one? Want to make the last one? Brian?
You get students to write a poem on the subject of friendship, and you are surprised and moved by their work. Adults?
Adults. Okay, good. Right. Let's see. Let's continue. This is the last part of this week, the importance of student motivation. The importance of student motivation. A variety of factors can create a desire to learn. Perhaps the learners love the subject they can choose, or maybe they are simply interested in seeing what it's like. Perhaps, as with young children, they just happen to be curious about everything, including learning. Some students have a practical reason for their study. They want to learn an instrument so they can play in an orchestra. Learn English so they can watch American TV. So that what I told you, that we have to recognize what are the activities that they like to do, right? For example, if they like cooking classes, if they like singing, or make or build things, so they can watch, as I said, American TV, or understand manual reading in English. They can become fitter and more relaxed, or go to the cookery classes. This desire to achieve some goal is the bedrock to motivation, and it is strong enough, it provokes the decision to act. Okay, so if you want that they learn grammar, maybe you can create or plan a class in which they can play and they don't know that they are learning, for example. For an adult, this may involve enrolling in an English class. For a teenager, it may be choosing one subject over another for especially study. This kind of motivation which comes from outside the classroom. What is the motivation that the students have outside the classroom? For example, if their parents says, I'm going to give you a $20 or $30 if you give me the best greatest this partial. So that could be motivation outside the classroom. What this motivation that is outside the classroom is called extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation. The motivation that a student brings into the classroom from outside. Another example of extrinsic motivation. Can you tell me an extrinsic motivation that the student could have? Try to think examples of extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation. Examples. Try to give me examples. Another extrinsic motivation could be, I'm going to do this task. I'm going to do this activity very well because my mother is gonna give me time to play video games at home, right? Or as I told you, their parents said, hey, I'm going to give you $30 this partial if you're going, or I'm gonna give you the thing that you want, maybe a prize. Maybe the parents say, I'm going to travel to the beach, and if you have good grades. So that is the motivation that a student bring into the student have and come from outside the classroom. Another one that you have? No?
Maybe could be the use of technological tools.
The use of technological tools. Yeah, because kids like to play video games, but we don't have to give them a lot
They
of
can use their
permission.
cell phone or tablet.
That's right. And intrinsic motivation is the motivation, on the other hand, is kind of motivation that is generated inside the classroom. And this motivation is given from you, is given from the teacher, right? So maybe because teachers are doing many funny things to engage students, or the teacher is giving a reward, right? So this intrinsic motivation is maybe because the method of the strategies that the teacher have inside the classroom, and say, wow, I like that class. I like that class. I like Lourdes' classes because she's very funny, and they make that scene, and my teacher have us to do a lot of things and make projects in colors. That is the motivation that the student have because you are doing the right things. The activities that the student taking part. If you are giving them things or things that they can take part in, then they're going to be motivated. Another intrinsic motivation could be the task, the activities that you, as I told you, the activities that you are doing, activities, enjoyable activities. You have to make enjoyable activities in order that engage your student. Use much on projects that involve them. That is intrinsic motivation. Okay? It is clear what intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. We need to display appropriate teacher qualities so that a student can have confidence in our abilities and professionals. We need to consider the issue of affect. Affect, as I think Maria was telling us about, that she care about she care a lot about their students. So we need to consider the issue of the affect, that is how a student feel about learning process. About learning process. You have to you have to be you have to act with the emotions with them, right? What is a good teacher? What is a good teacher? What is a good teacher? Teacher is a good teacher who care about their students, right? That is a good teacher. You have them being caring. Being caring is important. You have to show them that. A good teacher have the ability to build a caring, to build a relationship with students. Okay, if you don't care, they are going to realize that you don't care about them. They will probably perform better if you talk to them in a gentle way. Or maybe you encourage them, so they gonna act better. They're going to perform the tasks that you're going to assign. They're going to perform better. You have to be supportive. You have to be supportive, right? Great teachers not only are about their jobs, because you are worried about to finish their plans all the time. You're worried about, I have to finish this, I have to finish that, I have to finish my syllabus, my planning. But you have to, but also you have you have to be worried about their welfare. Okay, the welfare of the students. Okay, that is a good teacher. A student need to feel that teacher really cares about them. As I told you, if the student feels supported and valued, they are far more likely to be motivated to learn. Okay, they're gonna do the things better. One way of helping a student to sustain their motivation is to give them, as far as feasible, some agency. What is agency? Agency refers to learning through activities that are meaningful and relevant to learners, right? And you have to give them in appropriate way. You have to be a guide for them with appropriate guidance from teachers. Okay, you have to encourage them. A student like that, which means that the student should take some responsibility for themselves, be the doers. As I told you, agency refers to learning through meaningful activities and relevant activities. So things a student have to do the things, okay? Be the doers. Have to be the doers in class. This means that they will have some decision-making power, okay? What are those activities that you can assign to your students? What are those kind of activities that you can assign? that they are the doers. Mhm. Example of activities.
Teacher, what's the meaning of doors?
Doers. When you assign a homework, and your students have to do it, like a project, for example, like a build something. Obviously,
Adventure, maybe?
active. Students have to be active. For example, teachers don't have to talk a lot, right? So you have to assign a task inside the class that they are doers. For example, if you are planning a science class, right? And you try to explain part of the plants, and you pose the plant. But what is the best way? What is the best way to teach part of a plant?
Could be the self-evaluation.
Yeah, but if you are present them the part of a plant. So what do you think is the best way to teach part of a plant? Only if you use a projector and you have to say this is this part, this is no. The best way could be if you go with them to the playground and water the plants, right? And show them the parts, and they are touching. So students have to be doers. Maybe they plant a flower, and you show them the part of a plant. That is be doers. Students have to be doers. You understand? Mhm. It's like in Spanish, hacedores, ¿no? Lo que hace, okay?
Yeah, but you say we need to say the example to them.
It's like being theoretical and practical.
Something practical. It's better that you show, as I told you, the example of part of the plant. It's better that you go with them and show them the part, and they are watering the plant, they are planting some flowers, and then it's the best way that they can learn, right? Doers. Responsibility for learning. So, if giving a student agency is seen as a key component in sustaining motivation, then social agency is not just about giving a student more decision-making power. It is also about encouraging them to take more responsibility for their own learning. We need to tell them that unless they are prepared to take some of the strain, their learning is likely to be less successful. So they're gonna be stressful, obviously because of the process, but if you have to tell them, but you have to study, but at the end, everything gonna be okay. You're gonna learn, but this is the process. What are the agency? Here you have set advantages, goals. That is the way that you have to give them agency. Set advantageous goal, initiate action toward those goals, reflect and revise, internalize self-efficacy, right? These are the like steps to give agency. How to give agency? What is to give agency to the student? You have to set advantageous goals. You have to be clear about the goals that you have for your students, right? Maybe you have to revise the unit that you're going to teach with them, and you have to establish the goals. Initiate action. What are you going to do in order that they can learn better? I only have to talk, or maybe action, okay? Toward those goals. Reflect, make them reflect and revise. You have to reflect, you have to revise. Internalize self-efficacy, right? That's, you want to be successful in the process. In such cases, teacher will not be successful if they merely try to impose a pattern of learning autonomy. What is to impose? To impose, for example, impose a homework that maybe they don't like to do. What could be? Try to think about your group, and what could be something that is like to impose to do something.
So guys, what happened? Is the class over?
Maybe she had internet problems. I'm not sure.
I don't know who is the host. Adrian Heyman.
No,